a sly smile. Like, this is a guy in Nikola Jokic. I think he's fun. I think he does care about other things outside of basketball. But this is a guy that loves the game clearly, and I do think winning is very important to him. And Calvin Booth, he's their second year now, full time general manager. And I remember when he first took over, his mantra to everyone, publicly, privately, is like, we need to exhaust this window with Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic is breaking basketball because he makes every normal answer on defense look useless. That is the main point. Teams spend hours watching film. Coaches build full game plans. Defenders study his habits. And then the game starts, and almost none of it matters. You can put a big body on him, and he will move that defender where he wants. You can send help, and he will hit the open man before the second defender even gets there. You can stay home on the shooters, and then he will score one-on-one with soft touch, perfect timing, and that slow style that somehow nobody can stop. That is what makes Jokic feel different from other stars. He does not beat you with speed. He does not beat you with flashy moves. He does not even look like he is rushing to do damage. He just reads everything, stays under control, and picks the right answer every single time. And when a player keeps making the right answer over and over again, that is when the game starts to feel unfair. What makes it even harder is that Jokic does not play like a normal center. He looks like a giant point guard, but even that does not fully explain it. He brings the ball up the floor, starts the offense, calls out where people need to go, and then turns around and punishes you in the post like an old-school big man. He can run a handoff, set a screen, pop out for a jumper, back a defender down, throw a one-hand pass to the weak side, or hit that soft floater that always seems to touch the rim and drop right in. The defense never gets to relax because he can hurt you in too many ways. Most stars have one area where you feel like you can force them into something less comfortable. With Jokic, every choice feels wrong. If you crowd him, he passes. If you back up, he shoots. If you bring help, he finds the cutter. If you stay attached to everyone else, he scores in the paint. The whole game becomes a test of patience, discipline, and nerve, and even then, he still finds the edge. That is why so many defenders talk about him with a kind of helpless respect. They are not speaking about him like a normal great player. They talk about him like a problem that keeps changing shape in real time. One second, he's walking into a screen action. The next second, he's catching the ball in the middle of the floor. And before anybody can reset, he has already seen a cut that nobody else noticed. Then the ball is gone. Layup, dunk, wide open three. And the scary part is how calm he looks while doing it. He never seems sped up. He never looks rushed. He never plays like a man trying to prove how great he is. He just plays like a man who already knows where the next opening is going to come from. That calm makes him even more dangerous because when a star is emotional, loud, and wild, you can at least feel the chaos. With Jokic, it feels almost quiet. He breaks you down piece by piece until you look up and realize he has controlled the entire game. A lot of stars live off pressure, speed, and force. Jokic lives off timing. That
Mentioned the numbers that Jokic is putting up. The Joker has 64 games played this season. He must play at least 15 minutes Sunday versus the Spurs to be eligible for those postseason awards. I don't know if he's thinking about that right now, but I'm sure he's thinking about more so winning a championship than postseason awards. More from Q in the next hour to break down the East. Q, thanks so much.
I ask, which team has the best chance to knock off the Thunder if we're talking June and actually in the NBA playoffs?
Yeah, so watching the game last night, obviously prisoner of the moment. Wow, can the Wolves do this? And I do think they can. My favorite, if healthy though, I'm still looking at the Denver Nuggets. Okay. Now, it's a big question on how healthy they will be, obviously with the Joker and now Aaron Gordon. But I think you got to give this Timberwolves team real credence. I mean, this is a group, we always talk about the process of winning. They've gotten to the Western Conference Finals. They've got scar tissue, if you will, in the postseason. Anthony Edwards is one of those superstars that can get you on both sides of the floor, similar to his counterpart in this game in SGA. So I got the Wolves right now.
They hold their ground in the post, and somehow he still gets to the spot he wanted. It is hard enough to guard a star who can score. It is even harder to guard a star who can score and pass. But Jokic is a different level because he makes those two things feel connected on every play. His scoring opens the passing. His passing opens the scoring. His patience breaks down the help. His touch punishes the single coverage. Every skill feeds the next one. There are players who make you feel like the game is moving too fast. Jokic makes you feel like the game is moving too slow. That sounds strange, but it is true. Against him, the defense looks stuck. Everyone is waiting for the next move, but he already knows what it is. He slows the game down to his own pace, and once he does that, the whole floor starts to belong to him. The cutters trust him, so they cut harder. The shooters trust him, so they stay ready. The bigs trust him, so they move with purpose. He gives confidence to everyone around him because they know if they get open, even for a split second, he will find them. That changes the whole spirit of an offense. Guys play freer, they run more, they believe more, and that is a huge part of his greatness. Jokic is not only producing, he is lifting the level of everybody next to him. That is why teammates talk about him like he is the most unselfish superstar they have seen. In a league where so many stars are praised for getting theirs, Jokic stands out because he does not force himself into the game for attention. He forces himself into the game only when the defense leaves him no other choice. If the right play is a pass, he makes the pass. If the right play is a hook shot, he takes the hook shot. If the right play is a pick and pop three, he takes that too. He is not chasing a certain number of points. He is not playing to look good. He is playing to win the possession. That sounds simple, but it is rare for a superstar to stay that committed to the best play every single time. A lot of great players can make the right pass. Jokic lives in the right pass. It is part of how he sees the game. And when people talk about his passing, it is important to understand that this is not normal passing for a center. This is not just a big man making the easy extra pass out of a double team. Jokic manipulates defenders with his eyes. He throws touch passes through traffic. He leads cutters into open space before they even look fully open. He makes wraparound passes, one-hand lasers, no-look feeds, quick hit-aheads, and soft drop-offs that turn crowded paint touches into easy baskets. He sees the defense like a chessboard. He does not just react to what is open, he creates what becomes open. That's a huge difference. Some passers wait for the defense to make a mistake. Jokic makes the defense make the mistake. He shifts them with his body, his eyes, and his patience. Then he takes what he already knew was coming. But what makes this even more amazing is that none of it is luck. A lot of the wild passes and soft shots that people call crazy are actually the result of hard work and repetition. That calm body language fools people. Because Jokic does not carry himself.
That part matters because it kills the lazy story that Jokic is just some gifted big man playing off feel. Of course he has feel. His feel is special. But feel alone does not build this level of control. There is too much detail in his game for it to be an accident. The soft shots off one foot, the high arc touch shots, the body bumps before the release, the timing of the handoffs, the fake look before the pass, the way he seals defenders after screening, the way he grabs position early, the way he waits one extra second before making the read. That is work. That is study. That is discipline. When you hear former teammates say he was in the gym at the same time every day doing the same things again and again, it makes perfect sense. Greatness this strange and this sharp does not happen by chance. Another reason Jokic feels impossible to stop is because he does not let the defense rest mentally. A lot of stars can wear you down with shot making. Jokic wears you down with choices. Every trip down the floor you have to think, are we switching this? Are we bringing help? Are we showing two to the ball? Are we tagging the cutter? Are we staying attached to the corner? Are we fronting the post? Are we forcing him middle or baseline? And while you are thinking through all of that, he is already moving the defense. That mental pressure builds up. By the third quarter, mistakes start getting bigger. Guys are a step slower on the cut. The help comes too late. Someone loses vision on the weak side. And Jokic punishes every single slip. He makes the game tiring because he makes your brain work as hard as your body. Then there is the scoring itself, which still does not get enough respect because it does not look like what people expect from a dominant scorer. Jokic is not giving you long strings of crossovers into step-back jumpers. He is not coming down every trip trying to break defenders off the dribble. He is not flying through the lane for posters. But the ball keeps going in. That is what matters. He scores with touch, power, angles, seals, hooks, floaters, push shots, tip-ins, and well-timed jumpers. He can get 30 without it feeling loud. He can get 40 without ever looking hot in the usual way. He just keeps stacking points until the box score looks crazy. And because he can do it so quietly, it catches defenses off guard. They think they're surviving, and then they realize he is already having a huge night. His body also plays a big role in why this works. Jokic is strong, heavy, and grounded. He does not jump much, but that helps him in a lot of ways. He stays balanced, he stays under the defender, he uses his base to move people. He does not waste energy trying to play above the rim when he can create space with bumps, timing, and touch. Defenders cannot really knock him off his spot, and they can't speed him up either. That matters in the playoffs more than anywhere else. Postseason basketball gets more physical. The floor shrinks, games slow down. Every possession matters more, and that is exactly the kind of game where Jokic becomes even harder to deal with. He is built for half-court pressure because the half-court is where his mind becomes the loudest thing on the floor. What also separates him is that he never seems desperate for the whistle. In a time where so many stars are working angles to get calls, Jokic mostly seems focused on scoring through contact and making the next play. That makes him easier to respect, even for people who are trying to beat him. He is not playing for tricks. He is not hunting cheap moments. He is trying to get a bucket or create one for someone else. That gives his game a kind of honesty that a lot of people around the league admire. You can feel it when defenders talk about him. They are frustrated, yes, but there is also real respect there. They know they're dealing with pure basketball skill. No games, no nonsense, just a giant problem that keeps making the best choice. And maybe that is the best way to say it. Jokic is the best choice player in the world. He keeps picking the correct answer.
Over and over. That is why he breaks basketball. Basketball usually gives defenses some comfort. Usually there's a trade-off. If a scorer gets too aggressive, the passing lanes close. If a passer gives the ball up, maybe you can live with someone else taking the shot. If a center controls the paint, maybe you can pull him away from the rim and make him uncomfortable. With Jokic, the trade-offs disappear. If you take one thing away, another thing gets stronger. If you force him to score, he can score. If you force him to pass, he can pass better than almost anyone in the league. If you switch, he punishes the mismatch. If you hedge, he slips the pass to the right spot. If you trap, he stays calm and burns it. There is no peace in guarding him. This is why so many people are now talking about Jokic in the biggest way possible. Not just as the best center in the league, not just as one of the best players right now. People are starting to speak about him as one of the greatest big men to ever play. And honestly, that talk is not crazy anymore. When you look at the full package, it is hard to argue against it. He has the numbers, he has the awards, he has the impact, he has the playoff production, he has the respect of stars, teammates, defenders, and coaches. He has changed how people think about the center spot. He has shown that a big man can be the full engine of an offense without needing to play like anybody from the past. He is not copying a former legend, he is building his own lane. And the crazy thing is, he is doing all of this while making it look normal. That may be the most dangerous part of Jokic. He has made the impossible look routine. A 30-point triple-double does not shock people the way it should. A no-look dart to the corner feels expected now. A soft one-foot floater over a fully set defender feels expected now. A game where the defense tries 3 or 4 different coverages and none of them work feels expected now. We have become so used to him solving everything that the shock is gone, but the greatness is not. If anything, that is the sign of a player who has reached a different level. When things stop feeling amazing only because he does them so often, you are watching someone rare. The truth is, Jokic is not only beating teams, he is making people question what basketball is supposed to look like. He is showing that pace can beat speed, that touch can beat lift, that angles can beat flash, and that the smartest player on the floor can control every type of game. He can win ugly, he can win pretty, he can win in a shootout, he can win in a grind. He can turn role players into weapons and make elite defenders feel small. He does not need to look like the best athlete to be the best player. That may be the biggest lesson of all. In a sport that often celebrates the loudest and fastest kind of greatness, Jokic has built a quieter kind of dominance, and it may be even harder to stop. So, when people ask why nobody can stop Nikola Jokic, the answer is simple. Nobody can stop him because he is not giving the defense one problem. He is giving them all of them at once. He is the passer, the scorer, the screener, the rebounder, the organizer, the release valve, the mismatch, the decoy, and the closer. He sees the game before it happens, and then he punishes every mistake inside it. He is too smart to trap cleanly, too strong to move easily, too skilled to single cover, and too unselfish to bait into bad shots. Every road leads to something painful. That is why defenders sound defeated when they talk about him. That is why teammates sound amazed. That is why stars keep giving him respect. And that is why Nikola Jokić is breaking basketball right in front of us, because the game keeps asking for answers, and somehow he already knows every single